Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be talking about application of relative speed in trains. So we are going to talk about trains, which are today's lesson. We'll talk about trains which are moving in the same direction, and we are going to calculate the time taken for the two trains, or the time taken for one of the train to completely overtake the other train. On the screen you have two trains. As you can see, we have a green train and a red train. Both of them are moving towards the right hand side, so they are all moving in the same direction. So because both of them are moving, we are going to apply the concept of relative speed to calculate the time taken for the red train to completely overtake the green train. Let's talk about the speeds of these individual trains. The speed of the green train is 40 kilometers per hour, and its length, the total length of the train, let's give it 120 meters. So the green train is traveling or moving at 40 kilometers per hour, and it's also 120 meters long. On the other hand, we have the red train. Let's take it as a very long, like 200 meters. So the red train is 200 meters, and it's traveling at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. So the speed of the train, or the red train, is more than the speed of the green train. Now let's talk about the application here of relative speed. So before that, the green train is moving towards the right, and the red train, on the other hand, is also moving towards the right hand side. Both of them are moving in the same direction. Alright, so we have the red train and the green train. For the red train to overtake the green train, now as you can see, the red train is behind the green train. So for the red train to overtake the green train completely, first, as you can this train, the red train has to start this train has to cover the distance from this part here to this part here, where it will have covered the same distance as the train, and then it has to completely overtake the train and reach somewhere there. So let's take a look. So for the red train to overtake, or for the red train to overtake the green train, first the train will have to cover the distance of the green train, which is 120 meters. So as you can see there, first the train has to cover this 120 meters, which is the speed of this green, which is the distance of this green train. So first of all, we are saying here the red train has to cover the length of the green train first before it completely overtake it, or it completely pass it. So the red train has to cover 120 meters, which is the length of the green train first. Then again, we have the red train, after covering 120 meters, it will have to cover another 200 meters, which is actually its own length. So the distance covered by the red train to completely overtake the green train is actually 120 meters, which is the length of the train which is overtaking. That is 120 meters, the length of the green train, plus its own length 200 meters. So if the red train covers 120 meters plus 200 meters, then it will be completely ahead or in front of the green train. So using that distance, we can be able to calculate the time taken for the red train to completely overtake the green train. So the distance we're talking about here, we have highlighted with the red arrow. As you can see, the red arrow indicates the total distance which the red train is going to cover for it to completely overtake the green train. So first, it is going to cover the distance of the green train, which is 120 meters. Then for it to be ahead, it must cover its own distance, which is 200 meters. So let's go to calculation. So we have the green train is 120 meters. It is traveling at 40 kilometers per hour. And the red train is 200 meters long and is traveling at 60 kilometers per hour. So the red train, for the red train, it has to cover a distance of 120 meters and also 200 meters. So we can use that. So we have seen there the purple line or the purple arrow indicate the total distance covered by the red train to completely overtake the green train. So we can come down here on the screen. So on the screen we have the distance covered by the red train will be 200 meters plus 120 meters, which is 320 meters. We need to convert these meters to 2 kilometers, so we are going to take 320 meters divided by 1000, where we obtain 0.32 kilometers. So this is the total distance covered by the red train to completely overtake the green train. So we can go further to calculation. Time taken for the two trains to pass each other will be, time is given by distance over relative speed. Now, because these two trains are moving in the same direction, so the distance covered by the red train will be 0.32 kilometers, as we have seen, and the relative speed, we will have to subtract the faster train, which is 60 kilometers per hour, minus 40 kilometers per hour, because the two trains are moving in the same direction. The concept which is applied here is the concept of relative speed. So for us to obtain time, we'll take 0.32 kilometers and divide with 20 kilometers per hour, which is the relative speed, and finally we get 58 seconds, which is the time taken for the two trains to pass each other. I mean, for the red train here, which is to completely overtake the green train. So that's all for today's lesson. Thank you for watching my video. See you next video, where I'll be explaining much of these linear motion questions.